Maliwanag, after the period lapses and no rescission is taken, notwithstanding concealment, misrepresentation, which vitiated consent of the insurer has to make good the policy, because at this point, the policy had become incontestable. Parang na-cleanse na siya. Na-ratify na. May defect siya, di ba? Tapos na-ratify through non-rescission within the first 2 years thereof. That's the general rule. That's the rule, I'm sorry, when it comes to life insurance payable upon the death of the insured. Now, we have these landmark decisions that I think we need to reconcile. But of course, if they're really irreconcilable, let me just suggest to you, no? Paano yung pwede pag-take natin pagdating sa bar exams? Okay? Because this is the question that I receive and I get from most students, PM ulit, Viber, text. Ma'am, anong take nyo dito? Kasi conflicting siya talaga, tan, sibya. Then there's Manila Bankers also. Manila Bankers was penned by your chair. Okay? Pero talagang nagko-contra class is Tan and Sibya case. Did you get that? Sibya. Okay? So in the Tan versus CA case, the Supreme Court emphasized that insurer only has 2 years from the date of the issuance of the insurance contract or its last reinstatement within which to contest the policy, whether or not the insured still lives within such period. Okay? So, kay patay, kay buhay, yan ang sabi ng court, ha? This was lifted in toto from the Supreme Court's ruling. Whether patay, buhay daw, insurer has 2 years within which to contest policy due to concealment or misrepresentation on the part of the insured. Nagets? Nagets? Scenario din. Kung namatay siya within the 2-year period, as long as pwede, 2-year period namatay, tama po ba? Pero sabi ng insurance company, may misrepresentation to kasi nag-claim na si beneficiary. Yung relative nyo, naloko kami niyan. And we can still contest his policy because we're still within the 2-year period. Kaya dito po sa case na to, na-deny yung claim. Did you get that? Because there's still period to contest. 2 years still not over when it happened. Did you get it? After 2 years, however, concealment, misrepresentation will no longer lie as your defense. And therefore, the policy is no longer contestable. But what we need to emphasize here is that court categorically said that whether or not the insured still lives within such period, insurer can contest the policy, right, on the grounds that he committed either concealment or misrepresentation of a material fact. Maliwanag class. Yan po ang sabi ng Supreme Court. Satan versus Court of Appeals case. It's a 1989 case. Until we have this case of Sun Life, Canada versus Daisy Sibya. GR number 211212. June 8, 2016. January 10, 2001. Lawyer Jesus Sibya Jr. applied for life insurance with Sun Life. In his application, he indicated that he had sought advice for kidney problems. Okay? So he was in fact, he underwent some procedure at the National Kidney Institute. He was discharged after 3 days, and according to the insured policyholder, no recurrence occurred thereafter. Accordingly, Sun Life approved life insurance application. Again, okay, February 5, 01. 1101. Namatay. Ilang buwan yon? Feb, March, April, May. So, ilang buwan lang. 3 months after. He died. Gunshot wound. Gunshot wound. Shocking. Okay? The claim of the beneficiaries was denied by Sun Life because, according to Sun Life, Attorney Sipia misled us. High risk pala ang medical condition niya. That's why we were misled. And we would not have approved his life application, his insurance application, had we been made aware that his condition was high risk. Okay? That's why claim was denied. At ang pinagpipilitan ni Sun Life, we can still deny, we can still contest. Why? We're still well within the 2-year period. Kasi, obviously, nagagaling siya doon sa law. At doon sa TAN versus CAs that we just tackled. Kasi di ba ang linaw? Ayan o, whether or not insured still lives. Pwede i-contest. Nag-gets niyo po. Okay? If the insured dies within the 2-year period to contest, insurer is bound to make good the policy, regardless of the presence or lack of concealment or misrepresentation. So, kay may misrepresentation, kay may concealment, kay wala. If he dies within the 2-year period, insurance company has to make good policy commitment. Court emphasized Section 48 of your insurance code where this rule was lifted. Ayan, kumukulot na ang noon ni Madam. Ha? Serves a noble purpose. Kasi I see really contradiction here. No? Noble purpose with all due respect as it regulates the actions of both the insurer and the insured. So to that effect, an insurer is given 2 years from the effectivity of the life insurance policy and while the insured is still alive to discover or prove that the policy is indeed void ab initio or is rescindable because of fraudulent concealment or misrepresentation of the insured or his agent. Please note, after the 2-year period lapses, wala tayong problema sa after the 2-year period lapses eh. Ang critical sa atin is what happens within the 2-year period. After the 2-year period lapses or when the insured dies within the 2-year period, insurer must make good the policy. And this notwithstanding the fact that the policy was obtained by fraud, concealment, or misrepresentation. Ay, paano mo sasagutin ang bar exam? With a seeming contradiction between the CBIA and the TAN versus EA case. Supreme Court further elucidated that the Sun Life issued the policy on February 5, 2001, and therefore it has 2 years from its issuance to investigate, verify whether the policy was obtained by fraud, concealment, or misrepresentation. But this is the important message of the Supreme Court upon the death of Mr. Sipia, which is 3 months after the policy was issued. Without Sun Life rescinding the policy during his lifetime or when he was still alive, Sun Life loses right to rescind. Notwithstanding, it is still well within the 2-year period. Yan po ang latest ruling. As discussed in the Manila Bankers case, the death of the insured within the 2-year period will render the right of the insurer to rescind the policy nugatory. Incontestability period will now set in. Nagbasa lang po ako ha. Napusisisipin. So, ang tanong ng mga bata, ma'am, anong isasagot po? Well, ito suggestion ko lang ha. Suggestion ko lang to. It's still your choice how to articulate your answer, no? There appears contradiction in the sense sa tan, diba? Kay buhay, kay patay, as long as may ground to rescind, at nasa 2 years ka pa, pwede mong i-rescind. Ang linaw ng tan, di ba? Buhay, patay, as long as nasa 2-year period ka pa, insurer has the right to rescind. Why? Because may concealment, may panloloko si insurer. Pero dito sa CPIA, ano sabi? If within the 2-year period, namatay si policyholder, right? Insurer loses right to receive. Clear? So, contradicting, di po ba? So, if presented with the same facts, how do you articulate your answer? Well, isang safe na approach, sundin yung latest ruling. Kasi alam nyo naman tong case na to, i-cite nyo in toto, ang galing nyo pa, GR number, blah, blah, blah. I don't think the examiner class will take it against you. I don't think he will do that. Okay? Until it's superseded or there's a pronouncement to the effect that it did not supersede TAN, it's safer to follow the latest ruling. Okay? Clear? Tayo? Okay. Pwede rin, approach nyo, sabihin nyo pareho. And let the examiner decide for you. Because it's all about articulating your answer. Ako lang, may personal lang akong no? Listen, of course, ito din ang sentimiento ng mga nagtuturo ng insurance law. There's a need to, revisit the ruling and, to check really what is the final ruling on this because there are contradicting decisions already. Same facts. Namatay within 2 years, then you have a different take on the matter. So, isang approach, sabi ko nga, sabihin nyo pareho yung ruling. Another approach, you follow the later ruling. I don't think, I tell you, examiner will take it against you because you're just following latest ruling of the Supreme Court. But of course, may sense din naman po yung latest na ruling. I think where the Supreme Court is coming from is, pagpatay na kasi si policyholder, and there's allegation of fraud. Nandoko yan eh. Sino kausap? Si beneficiary. Do you think the policyholder can still rise from his grave and refute allegation, serious allegation of fraud? Kasi may due process issue tayo. Ako personal ko to ha, I'm not saying this is the right thing. Pero pag-isipan nyo rin, di ba? Para pwedeng i-argue that this is good as well, taking it from the perspective of due process, because when the insured is already dead, he loses the right to refute allegation of fraud. Eh, nasa 2 year ka pa na pwede kang mag-refute ng allegation of fraud. Due process can be an issue. That is what prompted the Supreme Court to take this stance and revisit ruling on the matter. Did you get that? By the time he's dead already, and there's still 2 year period to contest, he will no longer be able to refute any allegation of fraud, right, that is being accused or charged by the insurance company. And that is why here, court said, logic dictates that insurer loses the right to make use of the rescission, no? Insurer loses the right to make use of rescission as a remedy. The reason is because insured is already dead. Okay? Yun po. Yung sinabi ko, personal ko yun, ha? Pero still, as I said, best approach is, kung sigurista ka, you can cite both cases. Anyway, familiar naman na kayo sa kaso. Pero another approach, as I said, is nothing is wrong with relying upon the latest ruling of the court. I don't think, I tell you, examiner will take that against you. Ang importante, sakto yung sagot nyo, jurisprudence. Pero kung ang layo nagsagot nyo sa jurisprudence, ibang usapan po yan. Maliwanag class. Okay, ganyan talaga. Nangyayari yan sa buhay. Yung mga contradictions na yan, minsan nangyayari sa buhay. Wala akong alam, ma'am. Pero pag tinunong mo naman sa recitation, marunong pa sa professor. Diba? Okay. Alright? In the Manila Bankers Case class, ito kasi wala masyadong kasi nung kinontest, tapos na yung 2 years. So, ito hindi masyadong, but yun nga lang, may discussion ng Supreme Court that was taken by the quoted by the Supreme Court in the Sibia case. Policy had been enforced for more than 2 years, 7 months when the insured died. Court emphasized after the 2-year period lapses or when the insured dies. So ito kasi yung pinick up ng Supreme Court. Pero kung facts din ang pag-usapan, ang parehas po na facts, Tan at Eusebia. Dito kasi, namatay siya after 2 years. So, hindi siya masyadong issue. Kaya lang, may in passing na sinabi ang Supreme Court. By the way, Punenter, this is your chair. Okay? After the 2-year period lapses or when the insured dies, within said period, insurer must make good on the policy even though the policy was obtained by fraud, concealment, or misrepresentation. So that is the statement that was lifted by the Supreme Court and adopted in toto in the case of Sibia. It is just that here, yung facts niya are not at par at all with the Tan versus Court of Appeals case. Yung facts ni Sibia, yun ang talagang swak squarely the same as that of Tan versus CA. Okay, so sana settled na ito, ha? Yun. Manila Bankers versus Crescentia Aban. 2 years. Beneficiary is given stability. Sorry po. Okay, so in the Manulife Philippines Incorporated versus Ibanez, the insured allegedly did not disclose confinement at Cebu doctors. Ayan na naman ang hirap i-pronounce. Parodactyly, pancreatitis, hypertension, leptospirosis, etc. Okay? Insurance claim of the surviving spouse was denied because allegation of the insurance company, fraud. So, ang issue po dito is, was the insurance company able to prove fraud on the part of the insured? Medical records that may have established purported misrepresentation of the insured, according to the Supreme Court, cannot be accepted for being hearsay. Here, according to the court, Manulife failed to present the doctor or any responsible officer of the hospital who could confirm or attest the due execution and authenticity of the alleged medical records. So, meron pong medical records na ipinrovide sa insurance company to prove its allegation of fraud on the part of the insured. Unfortunately, no one from the hospital testified on the records. Okay? Kaya, inadmissible daw si medical records per se as evidence to substantiate claim of concealment or misrepresentation. The medical records, yes, were identified, but no testimony thereon of the concerned parties was given. Fraudulent intent on the part of the insured must be established so as to excuse insurer from liability. Satisfactory and convincing evidence rests upon the insurer. This is what the Supreme Court emphasized. Okay? Accordingly, court did not buy argument of fraud to excuse insurer from liability. Notwithstanding incontestable status though of the policy class, kindly check defenses, aside defenses, which are not effectively barred, by the incontestable status of the policy. Can we just pause for 2 minutes? I need to recharge my laptop. Thank you. 2 minutes. Status of the policy, lack of insurable interest, accepted peril is the cause of death or loss, non-payment of premium, following cash and carry rule, which is our next topic, conditions relating to military naval service has been violated, fraud is one which is particularly of a vicious type, failure to submit proof of loss. Failure to submit proof of loss, like for death claim, failure of the beneficiary to prove death of the insured. And of course, class basic rule prescription. Nako, yung policy, babasahin nyo ha. Naka-fine print yan. Although kung walang ambiguity kasi, nako, you cannot apply rule on adhesion. If the policy says claim should be within this period, then pasensya, pwede pong magkaroon ng dahilan sa insurance company to deny the claim due to what? Contracted, stipulated period to file the claim. Kung may nakalagay sa policy, notice of claim for a loss of this nature should just be given within 30 days. From the happening of the loss and you weren't able to give notice of claim within that period, pwede po yan na maging dahilan for the denial of the claim of the insured or his beneficiary. Please note that usually provisions to that effect are free from ambiguity kasi klaro naman yun kung kailan ka dapat mag-claim. Okay? Please note, I think I forgot to mention that an action upon the insurance policy is to be brought, generally speaking, kasi written contract yan. Tama po ba? 10 years po ang prescriptive period natin for instituting legal action on a written contract. However, parties can also agree on a period different from what is stipulated or what is prescribed under the law, and settled in our jurisprudence is the rule that the agreed upon period of limitation is to be respected by the parties. In case of conflict between the period prescribed by law regarding institution of legal action and the one stipulated by the parties in their contract, like policy of insurance, provides for a period different from 10-year period. The one that will hold or prevail is the period agreed to by the parties. Like kung nakalagay sa policy, 2 years to file legal action, pwede pong yan ang mag-prevail. However, please note, caveat under the law is that should the parties agree to shorten period to file legal action, it cannot be shorter than 1 year. Clear? Kung naka-stipulate 6 months to file legal action, void po yun. Because it's contrary to law. What period will you apply? Whatever is in the law. Maliwanag, 10 years, if that's the case. Okay? Valid po ba ang ganyang stipulation? Yes. Are we not denying the party right to, enforce a claim, legal action? No. What the parties here are agreeing is just to, manage yung time within which to file legal action. Allowed po siya. Ang bawal yung stipulation na bawal mo ako i-demanda. Pero pwede yung stipulation na kung i-demanda mo ako within this period. Shorter than what the law prescribes. Because you have to understand also, class, from the point of view of, again, business. Tama po ba? Business. Yung 10 taon na exposure na insurance company na pwede siyang mademanda, exposure niya yun, di ba? Mahaba po yun masyado. Ang mga nagbi-business usually ayaw niya ng mga demanda. So as early as we can cut this exposure, let's cut it. If it's the law allows stipulation on a shorter period, then we take advantage of that period, as long as it is well within the bounds of the insurance code. And so far, the limitation that we can see under the insurance code is the period thus stipulated cannot be shorter than 1 year. Maliwanag, kung silent yung policy, anong period na gagamitin? 10 years to file legal action. Okay? So, pwede bang mga tuwiran sa insurance company? Prescribed na yan. No. Unless a period the period stated in the policy is different. Okay? So, our next stop, malapit na mag-lunch, premium, is the consideration that the insurer gets from the insured. Consideration for its assent to assume the risk or exposure of the insured. It is not valid and binding until the actual payment of premium is made. Any agreement to the contrary class is void. Ano yung any agreement to the contrary? Any agreement that the insurance contract is still valid and binding, notwithstanding non-payment of premium, yan po ang bawal. Pero pwede bang ang bayaran ng premium, ganito ang methodology that we will adopt? Pwede po yun. Ang bawal po sa law, parties accepting validity of the policy despite lack of or non-payment of premium. Stipulation to that effect is void. Parties cannot agree the parties may not agree expressly or impliedly on the extension of credit or time to pay premium and consider the policy binding before actual payment thereof. Okay, so please take note of this principal rule, cash and carry, no premium, then the insurance company will not carry out payment of indemnity. Cash is premium, carry out indemnity liability, cash and carry. However, class, so kapag walang premium and loss is suffered, ano po ang defense ng insurance company? Non-payment of premium. When the motor vehicle figured in a collision, but premium for the car insurance was not yet good or paid, ano po ang lusot ng insurance company kung kayong abogado ng insurance company? Non-payment of premium. Goods deposited or entrusted to the carrier for transportation, naka-insure supposedly, while in transit, the goods were lost. Loss is attributable to perils of the sea. It should have been covered by the policy, but it appears premium therefore has not yet been paid. Anong lusot, insurer? Non-payment. Reason, cash carry rule. Okay? So, non-payment of premium as a rule is a legal excuse. Whose excuse? Insurer. Are there exceptions? Yes. Are there cases where insurer is bound to make good payment of the proceeds of the policy, notwithstanding that premium, therefore, has not yet been paid? There are cases to that effect. And in this cases, class, insurer cannot be excused from liability due to non-payment of premium. Kahit sa totoo lang, premium, dehis pa bayad. Maliwanag. Okay? So what are these exceptions? Life, industrial life. Industrial is yung tingi-tingi yung bayad ng policy premium. Okay? That's why the word is industry, industrial life. Right? Whenever the grace period provision applies, meaning the period within which to pay premium still holds. It follows that if the period to pay premium already lapsed without the required premium being in fact paid, insurer can exit and claim denial of the policy reason non-payment of premium. Critical to the first exception is whenever the grace period provision applies. Hindi po automatic yan. Porket life or industrial life, cash and carry exception will already apply. No, the critical clause there is whenever the grace period applies. Are we clear? Ang kino-contemplate niya, obviously, actually mga exceptions, halos ganyan lahat paiba-iba lang version. Ang kino-contemplate niya, insurer, pumayag ka, that I have so much time to pay you. Under the civil code, when the parties have agreed to a period, right? Parties are bound by the period. They have to respect the period that they stipulated. Si creditor, therefore, cannot enforce payment until the period arrives. Si debtor naman cannot be compelled to pay until the period arrives. Pero syempre, give and take yan. May kapalit yan on the part of the creditor, insurer in our case. Mas malaki ang premium na babayaran mo. Mas nakaka-discount, nakaka-lessen ka sa premium, di ba, kapag cash or immediate yung payment. Did you get the point? So, ang maganda naman doon kay insured is he can buy time. He has so much time to prepare for payment. Kasi kung may problema siya sa cash flow, di ba? Pwede pong maganda, mas matagal yung pagbabayad ng premium. 79, it used to be 78, is another exception. There is an acknowledgement in the policy itself or relevant contract of insurance that premium has been received. 79 renders such acknowledgement as conclusive, take note, conclusive evidence of payment of premium. So kung si insurer class, doon mismo sa policy, acknowledge. Di ba, lalo na kung mga pro forma yan, di ba, templated. Minsan, di na napapansin di ba? May template, premium is received. That payment of premium, that acknowledgement of receipt of premium, though in fact, it has not yet been given, renders binding effect, renders conclusive payment of premium. In which case, notwithstanding that the actual status is that premium is yet to be paid, insurer has to make good proceeds or indemnification. Tanong, paano yung nawawalang premium? Walay na yon? Tapos magbabayad ka kay policyholder, class, yung mga binabanggit nating exceptions here, listen, they are exceptions. Walang ganyan sa business. So, bayad ka pa rin premium. These exceptions, I tell you, does not prevent insurer from collecting premium. In fact, ang best way to do it is offsetting. Bayad kita 100K, kasi yan ang proceeds. Pero iaawas ko dyan, offset ko dyan, yung hindi mo nabayaran na premium worth, say, 10,000 pesos. Are we clear? This should not be construed as, insurer letting go of its premium claim. Maliwanag. Itong mga exceptions na to are just exceptions to the defense. Non-payment of premium should have been a legal excuse on the part of the insurer. Since gutom na kayo, this is our lunch break. See you later. Thank you. If you have the time, please read the Herbosa case in corporation law. Narinig nyo na yung case na yun, right? So, how to interpret yung ownership requirement. You kindly check that case. Okay? So, another exception to the cash and carry rule is derived from the case of Makati, Tuscany condominium, where, again, same principle, when there's a period agreed for the payment of premium, and partial payment has been made at the time of loss, then the insurer cannot interpose defense of lack of premium to defeat the claim. Also, from UCPP, General Insurance Corporation case, here, unlike the previous exceptions that we have noted, there is no expression of credit term in the contract. It's not explicit in the contract. Naging kalakaran or practice lang po, insurer would allow insured to restore or reinstate his policy impliedly by accepting premium payments. Therefore, kahit delayed na yung pagbabayad ng premium, tinatanggapan pa rin siya ng premium. But on one occasion, ayaw nang tanggapin yung premium because loss. Nag-iba ng kwento, nag-iba ng, alam ba yun, sa buhay, napaniwala ka, akala mo kayo, hindi pala. Parang ganun po, stopper to. Okay? Ang sakit-sakit nun, di ba, akala mo kayo, hindi pala. So, ganyan po ang storya ni UCPB, which is now formally incorporated in the insurance code as amended. When a credit term is established as between the parties, no? Estoppel on the part of the insurance company, kasi ito unlike yung sa mga na-cite natin earlier, nasa kontrata talaga nakasulat, ito po naging kalakaran lang. Okay? But for the first time, when the insured already is damaged, ayaw nang tanggapin yung premium, na kung wala sana siyang loss, tatanggapin yun, di ba? And the insurance company would not want to pay the proceeds or indemnification anymore. And ang kanyang defense is non-payment of premium. But the Supreme Court, in its decision on the motion for reconsideration brought before it, said that estoppel here will preclude insurance company from citing or invoking non-payment of premium has not yet, invoking non-payment of premium as its defense. Okay, estoppel was the basis of the court in so denying claim of non-payment of premium. Ang kalakaran po, 60 to 90 days, nagbibigay ng palugit, sa Tagalog, di ba? Palugit, si insurance company. And formerly, it would allow restoration of the policy, but this time, ayaw ng payagan. But the court said, you are stopped, you cannot deny payment of premium, nor can you deny payment of the required indemnification. As amended as well, please check 78 of the Insurance Code of the Philippines, which expressly notes that government employees are now allowed premium payment by way of salary deduction. Pati loans can be deducted via their salary. Are we clear? Okay. Okay. So please check also cases when return of premium is possible. So just a quick check on this cases. Premium po ang binabalik dito ha. Hindi po yung pagbabayad dito ng insurance proceeds. So basic principle is that the premium is the consideration for the assumption of risk. Ergo, it follows that if there is no exposure at all to the peril insured against, logic and equity dictate that the premium paid by the insured be restored by the insurance company to the policyholder. So when now part of the interest is exposed to the peril supposed to be insured against, a good example of this would be marine insurance na hindi naman natuloy ang biyahe. The return of premium can be requested. Premium can be returned as well if the coverage of the policy is for a specified period, but before the expiration of that period, cancellation thereof or surrender of the policy took place. Okay? For the portion that was not covered, return of premium may be allowed. Please note, modification to the insurance code is there is a ground for return of premium to the following effect under the old code, but now it's categorically required that for contracts of insurance that are voidable, there is still a need that this be nullified or annulled under the provisions of the Civil Code of the Philippines. So when the contract is voidable, okay, and the voidability here is attributable to the fraud or misrepresentation of the insurer, please note that return of premium will be legally in order. Ano po ang pagbabago sa insurance code? Kailangang maipanalify, mapawalang visa muna yung kontrata in accordance with what the civil code requires. Also, good faith on account of facts or the existence of which insured was ignorant without his fault. One case contemplates a scenario, the insured believing it with good faith, yung location of the vessel was in this particular place, not knowing that it's no longer in that place, so walang exposure at all, court allowed return of premium at the very least. Or when by any default of the insured, other than actual fraud, the insurer never incurred any liability under the policy. Please note, provision of Section 82 of the Insurance Code of the Philippines, insured is not entitled to return of premium, okay, if the policy is annulled, rescinded, or claim is denied on account of his fraud. So, to sa mga cases na nakita natin kanina, return of premium may not be legally permissible. Please note as well, in case of overinsurance, but this will apply not to cases involving, excepted from here are cases involving life insurance because there's no such thing as, overinsurance for life insurance. As we said this morning, life measure of insurable interest in life is without any specific value or amount. Life is precious. It is therefore beyond pecuniary estimation. Depende yan sa insurance company kung kaya niya yung amount na gusto ni policyholder. If the insurance company can cover so much amount, so much risk, and it depends as well if the insured is willing to pay so much premium for the amount of insurance that he's taking, then still it won't be construed as one of overinsurance. Okay, so overinsurance to the extent of the over coverage, return of premium will be legally in order. Okay? Ipapakita ko lang po ito, pero huwag kayo masyado masyashock kasi nasa outline lang siya. That's why, forgive me if I will show this no default or non-default options in a life insurance policy. It's in the outline released by the Supreme Court. In case, please check, life insurance. The policy is required to contain substantially following conditions so that it's not maliwanag after the period lapses and no rescission is taken. Notwithstanding concealment, misrepresentation, which vitiated consent of the insurer, insurer has to make good the policy because at this point, the policy has become incontestable. Parang na-cleanse na siya. na-ratify na. May defect siya, di ba? Tapos na-ratify through non-precision within the first 2 years thereof. That's the general rule. That's the rule, I'm sorry, when it comes to life insurance payable upon the death of the insured. Now, we have these landmark decisions that I think we need to reconcile. But of course, if they're really irreconcilable, let me just suggest to you, no? Paano yung pwedeng maging take natin pagdating sa bar exams? Okay? Because this is the question that I receive and I get from most students, PM ulit, Viber, text. Ma'am, anong take nyo dito? Kasi conflicting siya talaga, tan, sibya. Then there's Manila Bankers also. Manila Bankers was penned by your chair. Okay? Pero talagang nagko-contra class is Tan and Sibya case. Did you get that? Sibya. Okay? So in the Tan versus CA case, the Supreme Court emphasized that insurer only has 2 years from the date of the issuance of the insurance contract or its last reinstatement within which to contest the policy, whether or not the insured still lives within such period. Okay? So, kay patay, kay buhay, yan ang sabi ng court, ha? This was dictated in toto from the Supreme Court's ruling. Whether patay, buhay daw, insurer has 2 years within which to contest policy due to concealment or misrepresentation on the part of the insured. Nagets? Nagets? Scenario din. Kung namatay siya within the 2-year period, as long as pwede, 2-year period namatay, tama po ba? Pero sabi ng insurance company, may misrepresentation to kasi nag-claim na si beneficiary. Yung relative nyo, naloko kami niyan. And we can still contest his policy because we're still within the 2-year period. Kaya dito po sa case na to, na-deny yung claim. Did you get that? Because there's still period to contest. 2 years still not over when it happened. Did you get it? After 2 years, however, concealment, misrepresentation will no longer lie as your defense. And therefore, the policy is no longer contestable. But what we need to emphasize here is that court categorically said that whether or not the insured still lives within such period, insurer can contest the policy, right, on the grounds that he committed either concealment or misrepresentation of a material fact. Maliwanag class. Yan po ang sabi ng Supreme Court. Satan versus Court of Appeals case. It's a 1989 case. Until we have this case of Sun Life, Canada versus Daisy Sibya. GR number 211212. June 8, 2016. January 10, 2001, lawyer Jesus Sibya Jr. applied for life insurance with Sun Life. In his application, he indicated that he had sought advice for kidney problems. Okay? So he was in fact, he underwent some procedure at the National Kidney Institute. He was discharged after 3 days, and according to the insured policyholder, no recurrence occurred thereafter. Accordingly, Sun Life approved life insurance application. Again, okay, February 5, 01. May 11, 01. Namatay. Ilang buwan yun? Feb, March, April, May. So, ilang buwan lang. 3 months after. He died. Gunshot wound. Gunshot wound. Shocking. Okay? the claim of the beneficiaries was denied by Sun Life because, according to Sun Life, Attorney Sylvia misled us. High risk pala ang medical condition niya. That's why we were misled. And we would not have approved his life application, his insurance application, had we been made aware that his condition was high risk. Okay? That's why claim was denied. At ang pinagpipilitan ni Sun Life, we can still deny, we can still contest. Why? We're still well within the 2-year period. Kasi, obviously, nagagaling siya doon sa law at doon sa TAN versus CAs that we just tackled. Kasi di ba ang linaw? Whether or not insured still lives. Pwede i-contest. Nag-gets niyo po. Okay? If the insured dies within the 2-year period to contest, insurer is bound to make good the policy, regardless of the presence or lack of concealment or misrepresentation. So, kaya may misrepresentation, kaya may concealment, kaya wala. If he dies within the 2-year period, insurance company has to make good policy commitment. Court emphasized Section 48 of your insurance code where this rule was lifted. Ayan, kumukulot na ang noon ni Madam. Serves a noble purpose. Kasi I see the contradiction here, no? Noble purpose with all due respect, as it regulates the actions of both the insurer and the insured. So, to that effect, an insurer is given 2 years from the effectivity of the life insurance policy and while the insured is still alive to discover or prove that the policy is indeed void ab initio or is rescindable because of fraudulent concealment or misrepresentation of the insured or his agent. Please note, after the 2-year period lapses, wala tayong problema sa after the 2-year period lapses eh. Ang critical sa atin is what happens within the 2-year period. After the 2-year period lapses or when the insured dies within the 2-year period, insurer must make good the policy. And this notwithstanding the fact that the policy was obtained by fraud, concealment, or misrepresentation. Ay, paano mo sasagutin ang bar exam? With a seeming contradiction between the CBIA and the